Parabola. Parabola.
Paraboloid.
Okay.
Parabol.
Okay. And what about like, uh, see, so the rugby ball that is in the shape of ellipse. So these are the okay. So that we will see. So the next thing is, so before going into that, I just want to touch upon one point. See, for example, I have a line. See, the length of the line is say 30 mm. Okay, I want to divide that into 7 equal parts. So, can anyone say like how to divide that into 7 equal parts? What will be the distance of one division?
Repeat again, sir.
So I have a line of length. See, I have a horizontal line. So the length of the line is say 30 mm. Okay. So this is the length of the line. I want to divide that into 7 equal parts. Can someone suggest how to do that? So what will be the distance of one division?
4.28.
30 by 7.
30
30.
by 7.
So what is the value? What is the value of that?
4.28.
4.2. Okay. So traditionally the scale which we have, so we can divide with respect to mm. This 2.28 is very difficult to divide. Am I right? Because in our scale, so in our scale, we have division in mm, then centimeter, centimeter. So this 2.28, it's very difficult to divide this 0.28. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So in that case, so we can geometrically divide that. So there is something called dividing a line into n number of equal parts. So using this method, we can divide a line of any length into any number of parts. Okay. See, for instance, I have this line, and the length of the line is say, as I told, it is say 30 mm. That I want to divide this into 7 equal parts. So what you can do is from one end of the line. So it has two ends. From one end of the line, you can make an inclined line arbitrarily at any inclination. So there is no constraint that the line should be of this angle. Arbitrarily can make that line at any angle, something like this. So this angle is not important. It can be of any angle. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
It should be of axis length of the.
So some convenient angle. That's all. Okay, can be 30, 40, 50, 60, any convenient angle. Okay. Next, the length of the line is also can be for any length. So, for example, if I want to divide this line, so the n equal to 7 parts, make sure that this length should be easily dividable by 7. Okay. So, for example, again, if I'm taking 30 of this length is 30, it's very difficult to divide, right? So, make this length as some convenient length so that it can be easily divided by that 7 divisions. Okay. So, this is the second step. See, for example, I want to divide a line into 7 equal parts. The easiest length is say 70 mm. Okay. So, this length is 70 mm. So, after that, this line needs to be divided into 7 parts. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If this length is 70 mm, each will be 10 mm each. So I'm not saying you should take always 70. So some convenient length. So the convenient length which can be easily divided into the parts which we are going to choose. So after doing that, the end of this, that is the C and B, you need to connect this with a straight line. We need to connect this with straight line. This line will form at some inclination. After doing this with using the drafter, you need to make parallel lines with this line from all these points from here. Everything should be parallel. So if I make a mark like this, both lines are parallel. That's what it means. So everything should be parallel lines. If you do like this, the original line will be divided into 7 parts, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is the way, so this is called dividing a line into n equal parts method. So using this, you can divide any length of the line into any number of parts. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
So you take a note of this. So I'll give you some 5 minutes. You take a note of this. So after that, we'll go to next slide. So what about others? Whether others can you able to hear my voice?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then you have some. Can we go to the next slide?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this particular method will be used widely. So because during the construction of parabola, hyperbola, what happens is so there we will be in a need to divide the line into n parts. So that's why I thought of covering this before. Okay. Next. So there are three sections probably in engineering course. The first one is the conic sections we are going to see today, and first one is conic sections. Second one is cycloids, then involutes. We are going to see the construction of this. In the conics, so normally we will call the circle, parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola. We will used to call these as conic sections. Okay, so there are many methods to construct these sections. In specific, in this particular subject, we will be using something called eccentric method for construction of ellipse, parabola, and hyperbola. Okay, we are going to use the eccentricity method. So we will try to learn how to draw normal and tangent for these curves. Okay, so that is the objective of this particular curves. We will be learning how to draw these curves and tangent and normal for these curves. Okay. So conic sections is it's very simple. See, I have a cone. I have something like this. I have a cone, and this is the axis of the cone. And so these the side lines. So that is the line on the surface. So those lines are called generators normally. Okay. So this is the axis, and these lines are called generators. So there will be n number of generators on the circumference. So those generators helps to form the cone. Okay. So what happens is, so when you cut this particular cone, something like this, with the help of a knife. So that particular knife in the subject we will call that as section plane. going to record the video. Oh, okay. So this particular, so I told right, we will cut this with the help of a knife. So that knife is called section. Imaginary knife, so which is used to cut any sections. So that like we will try to explore the sectional thing. Okay. If the sectional plane is exactly perpendicular to the axis, this is the axis, and if it is perpendicular, and if I cut like this and if I remove this part, you will see some section here, right? So what is the shape of that section? Any guess?
Circle.
What? Circle. Yeah, exactly. So if you make it perpendicular, you will get circle. In the same cone, if I incline my sectional plane such a way that the section plane is parallel to any one of the generator, because we have n number of generators. So I am inclining such a way that it is parallel to one generator. So if I what I will get?
Parabola.
What? So I incline my section plane. I incline my section plane and it is not perpendicular to axis, but that section plane cuts all the generators. So these are the generators. So it cuts all the generators like this, but it is not perpendicular to the axis. If I do and if I remove this part, then I will get
Ellipse.
ellipse.
It's an ellipse.
Yeah, right. So to get the hyperbola, what I need to do is I have a cone again.
Parallel to X.
Parallel to axis, if I cut and I remove, I will get a regular hyperbola. Okay, so the regular hyperbola I will get. Okay, so these are the different types of thing. Okay, if you look at this, the circle and the ellipse both are, in both we will get a closed curve. Whereas in the parabola and hyperbola we will get a open curve. Open curve means, see, so in parabola you will get curve like this, in hyperbola you will get a curve like this. Okay, so both are open curve, whereas the circle and ellipse is something like this. This is the shape of an ellipse. It's a proper example for ellipse. Okay, in ellipse and circle we will get a closed curve. We are not going to see the construction of circle because everyone knows how to do it, because it's a simplest curve. So no need to do that. Okay, so whereas we will see the ellipse, hyperbola and parabola. Okay, okay. So I'll go to the next slide. So this is an ellipse. This is an hyperbola. I hope it's clear. So these curves, generally what we will do is we will explain these curves with the help of examples. What is the example of circle? What is the eccentricity of circle? Zero.
Zero.
Yeah. Eccentricity.
Say infinite.
What?
Infinite.
No. Zero. It's a clear zero. The ellipse is between, it should be, for ellipse, it should be greater than 0 and less than 1. And for parabola, it should be exactly equal to 1. And for hyperbola, it should be greater than 1. Okay. So this is the eccentricity. I will show you how to do that. For example, I have one axis like this. It's not. This is called as direction. And this one is called as axis generally during the construction of ellipse, parabola and hyperbola. You might have heard these two terms, something called focus and vertex. Okay, so I have an ellipse like this. Okay, and assume that my focus is this. Okay, let's assume that all the three curves shares the common focus. So this is the focus of the ellipse. Okay, so the eccentricity is nothing but, so let's take any point on the curve. Let's take this is the point. Okay, so I'm going to name this as capital B. Okay, and I'm going to make a horizontal line from this point to the directrix, something like this. So it will touch on this curve. So you connect the vertex and focus like this. Okay, so the eccentricity is nothing but the distance between the vertex and the focus. Distance between the vertex and focus, BF, and the distance between vertex and the directrix, BC. So this is the eccentricity. Okay, for convenience, let's name this as P1 and C1. Okay, so if you closely look at this, it's clear. Like here, let's assume that BS is smaller than BC for this case. For eccentricity of ellipse, VF is smaller than VC. For instance, let's take this as a case. Okay, for the same focus, for example, I want to draw a parabola, something like this, and I'm going to take some other point. And I already told the focus is common for all the curves. So this is V1, V1 and C1. Okay, so the focus is common for all the point. Now I am going to connect these V2. Let's take for parabola it's V2. I'm going to connect V2 and V2 to the directrix that will intersect at C2. So eccentricity is V2F divided by V2C2. So look at this. So if I ask you something like this, so V1F, V2F. So which will be greater? Whether this part will be the greater one or whether this will be greater?
V2F.
V2F will be greater because obviously, so from a common focus, it is much lengthier than the V1F1. And I'll ask second question. So V1 C1, V2 C2. Which one will be greater?
V1 C1.
So V1 C1 will be greater, obviously. So you look at this. So here the numerator will be smaller and the denominator is bigger. Here obviously the numerator is bigger and denominator is smaller. So what it says is the eccentricity of the parabola will be obviously greater than the eccentricity of ellipse. That's what it's trying to communicate. Okay. Next, let's make a third curve. It's an open curve. It's hyperbola. So let's take the third point. So I'm going to take here. So I'm going to connect with the same focus. So this is V3. And that point is C3. Hyperbola V3F, V3. So if you look at the same logic, so again V3F will be greater than V2F and V3C3 will be smaller than V2C2. So that means the hyperbola eccentricity is much higher than the parabola. Okay. So but we already know it should be less than 1. It should be equal to 1. It should be greater than 1. Okay. So this is the concept of eccentricity. So now what we are going to do is we are going to move this point to the intersection of the curve and the directrix. So something like this. So this is my focus. So I can take any point on the curve, right? So I'm going to take this point, okay? This point. So this is my V and this is my C. So then the eccentricity is nothing but Vf divided by Vc. So by plotting these marks, we are going to construct the ellipse, okay? I'll show you in the next slide how to do that. Okay. Any doubts in this? No. So if not, like you can copy this. I'll give you some 2 minutes. Yeah. See, this is the problem. Okay. So construct an ellipse with the distance of focus from the directrix is 30 mm and eccentricity is 3 by 4. Okay. So in the question they said like the distance between the focus and the direct. Okay. So that is the distance and the eccentricity value is 3 by 4. So using this, so they asked to construct a what do you call like the ellipse. Okay. So in this particular question they mentioned ellipse. Even if they didn't mention the ellipse, even then also this is assumed to be ellipse because the eccentricity value is less than 1. Okay. So even if they say like construct a curve with a distance of focus focus to vertex, focus to directrix as 30 mm and the eccentricity is 3 by 4. So even if they mention like this, then also it is ellipse because of the eccentricity value. Okay. So for these kind of curves, what you need to do is so listen carefully. So it's very difficult to explain with this online board, but still I'll try my best. Okay. So first what you need to do is you need to draw the directrix, something like this. Okay. Next, somewhere from the middle, you need to draw an axis, something like this. Draw an axis like this. Okay. So always what you need to do is you need to name the directrix as capital D and T dash. Okay. Always you need to name any point. So it's easy to represent. Okay. Then this intersection is C. Okay. So as I told you before, first we need to locate the vertex and focus. So in the question they mentioned the distance between the focus and the directrix is 30 mm. Okay. 30 mm. So it's nothing but C to F is 30 mm. So this is C. From here you mark a point at 30 mm and this will be your F. Okay. So next you need to find the vertex. How to find that? As I told before, the eccentricity is nothing but Vf divided by Vc. So here the eccentricity value is given as 3 by 4. So what you can do is you can add the numerator and the denominator. So that will give a value of 7. So you can divide this distance between CF into 7 divisions, and so you can mark the V such way that VC should on the 4th division. So that like VF will be 3 divisions and VC will be 4 parts. So the total distance in the total distance, VF should have 3 parts and VC should have 4 parts. So in order to ensure that we will add this, we will take the summation that is 7 parts. We will divide this into 7 parts. Like so 30 mm to 7 parts is difficult. So what you can do is you can use this dividing a line into n equal parts. So something like this, you can make a line and you divide this into 7 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So and after that you connect this and this. So then you can make parallel lines. So totally it will have 7 divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 divisions. So from F, you need to identify the third point. 1, 2, 3, third point. So this is your B. So here you will have 3 parts. Here you will have 4 parts. So we identified B and F points. Okay. Is that clear? Any doubts till this?
No, sir.
No. So you copy everyone. You copy till this because so we will have more number of steps. I after 3 or 4 steps, I will use some time to try to copy in your notebook. So after that, I will proceed further. So how you will locate the B point and F point? Can someone can answer this?
Sir, we'll divide into B and F.
Distance between vertex and focus is 10 mm. How to locate B point and F point? That's my question.
Sir, distance between vertex and C is
So we have to
Dividing into 2 parts.
Part of
7.5 mm.
so we are
I think the data
This
we can find easy.
will be 7.5 mm.
See, I want this distance.
Sir, we know that distance between vertex and focal will be AE, no, sir.
Not even first.
Yes, sir. We calculate
That between B and C will be 15.
15 mm. Yeah, that is right. So how to do is, so we know this VF by VC. The question the given distance is from V to F. So this is 10 mm. Let's say this is X. So if you do this, X will be 15 mm. Okay. You need to from C, you need to locate the point at a distance of 15 mm. From there 10 mm. So you no need to do these calculations because they directly given that. Okay, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So there is one more variation. So instead of giving the eccentricity, they will give like this: the ratio between directrix to vertex and vertex to focus is 3/4. Okay. So like this, they may give. So which curve it is?
hyperbola.
Hyperbola. Because they given inverse, so it is nothing but 4/3. The eccentricity is 4/3 and hyperbola. Okay, so that's the things can be twisted. Okay, so I'm unable to draw, so I will show a video. I already recorded a video. I thought like I can do by this way. It will be more easy, but I'm unable to draw with this. So I'll play the recorded video.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So I waited and I okay.
Sir, there is a problem in the audio, sir.
In the video also.
The video is visible.
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
this point is
Can be streamed. Okay, not an issue. So I will do here. Just give a minute.